All right, good morning and welcome, Elevate Up community. Today, I wanted to highlight a really good book that I've been reading called The Second Mountain by David Brooks. If you haven't read this yet, it's a phenomenal book where he talks about the quest for a moral life. I'm going to read a little excerpt from the book and then talk about a concept from this first mountain to the second mountain in today's topic. If the first mountain is about building up the ego and defining the self, the second mountain is about shedding the ego and losing the self. If the first mountain is about acquisition, the second mountain is about contribution. If the first mountain is elitist, moving up, the second mountain is egalitarian, planting yourself amid those who need and walking arm in arm with them. You don't climb the second mountain the way you climb the first mountain. You conquer your first mountain. You identify the summit and you claw your way toward it. You are conquered by your second mountain. You surrender to some summons and you do everything necessary to answer the call and address the problem or injustice that is in front of you. On the first mountain, you tend to be ambitious, strategic, and independent. That's more of the self-actualization. On the second mountain, you tend to be relational, intimate, and relentless. And as a word I coined, social actualization. And you'll see here on the whiteboard that this first self-actualization, if you think about Maslow's hierarchy of needs, for those that remember that, on the bottom ring would be what? Food, shelter, clothing, physiological needs. Then safety and security would be the next ring up from that on our human needs. And then relationships, right? The human need of connection. And then self-esteem, the need to feel good about oneself. And then self-actualization, which is this idea of I'm on purpose. I'm about something that I am using my gifts, talents, and abilities to create. And that's what he calls the first mountain, this Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So it's almost as you see the second mountain is like Maslow's part two, the second mountain. And this first mountain, this idea where it's more about my resume virtues, the things that I have behind my name, the things that I've acquired, my wealth, home, security, cars, stuff that I have, degrees, titles, even sometimes relationships fall into that. You look at this as the achievement mountain, one that we climb. And oftentimes ego and identity is built in that first mountain, shoring up treasures for myself, things that I need, that I'm acquiring. Nothing wrong with it. But oftentimes we get to the end of the rope, as David Brooks talks about. We get to a place where it's no longer fulfilling, no longer providing the same sense of joy, the same sense of meaning as it once did. And there lies the second mountain that he talks about. I use the term social actualization in the sense of once I'm conquered this first mountain, or at least I'm climbing it, I get to move over to what he calls the eulogy virtues, the things that I want to have be left being remembered for, my impact on others, my contribution to others. So it's really others centric, my impact in the lives of my family, in the lives of my community, in the lives of my vocation. And in there, it's a different place we come from. Coming from this place as who am I being, coming from a place of spirit. Notice over on the first mountain, coming from this place as how does this benefit me? How does this make me look better? You heard the term FOMO and FOPO come from the first mountain, fear of other people's opinions, fear of missing out. But the second mountain is more about who am I being? I'm not trying to fit into the world. Instead, the world's fitting into me, and I am in service of others. So when I have a healthy first mountain, when I'm self-actualized at the top, then I can leap over and really climb the second mountain. I have a good friend named Barry Schaefer. Schaefer, if you're listening to this, thank you, buddy. He called me the Sherpa based on the recent experience that we just had 5 days backpacking in Yosemite and really taking this time to look at what's our second mountain. And that's my question for you today is what's that second mountain that you're climbing? Whether you're climbing it now and you want to go higher, or you just realize that, hey, there's more to life than me just accumulating and accomplishing my own achievements. But really, there's more. I want to make an impact. I want to influence others. There's more to give outside of myself, to leave behind, well beyond my days on this earth, that eulogy moment for us. So that's my question to you is, how can I build my second mountain? What's the next steps that I need to take? Let's discover that together. Let's make a difference together. Thank you for listening today. And I hope that adds an extra dosage of just intention, of mission, of something that you can add to your tool bag to continue to work with. Thank you for listening to me today. And I look forward to seeing you in our next Elevate Up Plus together.